Hello, everyone. Um, this is our operations training part Trello. Trello is a productivity tool which we have been using for a long time. Recently, it seems that people are either not using it or it turns into a big mess. So, this training also tries to improve usability. Um, you download Trello very easily in the App Store if you want to use it mobile. I personally prefer the desktop version. If you have problems with setting it up, then one of our staff members will assist you to do so. Um, Trello uses boards, lists, cards, and checklists. It's important that you understand the difference. So when you log in and access our team board, you see that there are usually more boards. You can set up an infinite number. But if you choose the Green Steps team board, then you will see that you have lists in here. We have usually weekly lists, and in those weekly lists there are several cards. The cards usually have the name of our team members. And if you click on such a card, you will see usually a checklist with single tasks. So this is how a checklist can look like, and when you have such a task done, then you tick it off and it strikes out the task, and so you move forward in your work. Sometimes you are not able to finish the tasks of an entire week. What you can do is you click these three dots and then you can move the card into the next week. How does this look like? You get a drop down menu and Trello asks you in which week do you want to move that list. There is a second option that you go on the right lower side in the desktop version on actions, then you click on move, and then you get also here a drop down list where you can select which list you want to move your card. Sometimes you will show up twice in a list. This happens if somebody has already assigned a task to you. So what you need to do here is either be early to move your tasks to the next week or merge those two cards manually. So this is the status quo. I think Trello is quite easy to use, at least it looks like it. But some team members either don't use it or a long list piles up and weekly tasks don't get finished. So why does this happen? I believe the reason is that we need to have a more detailed task management. We need to learn how to avoid turning Trello into a waste dump. And this happens not only on Trello. We usually have a lot of lists lying around, and the lists get longer and longer and longer. We lose the overview, and we also lose productivity. So how can we turn Trello into a cherished productivity tool? This is the content of this second part of this presentation. So some time ago, I read a really interesting book, very short, very nicely written, by a guy. His name is Leo Babauta. Leo Babauta lives with his family and 6 children on the US island of Guam. I guess this is a very nice place. I imagine somehow like Hawaii. And he wrote a book, it's called The Power of Less, the fine art of limiting yourself to the essential in business and in life. So what's the gist of this book? Babauta explains that when we want to be productive, especially in an era where we use so much technology, where we surf the internet, where so much information is available, and usually also our lives get much faster, we need to be more structured. And he recommends that we structure our life into three parts, into goals, projects, and tasks. He recommends that we set a 5-year goal. This is where we want to be in 5 years. Set N sub-goals, and then define projects which do not last longer than 1 or 2 months and help us to achieve these goals. The golden rule here is don't add a new project before all others are finished. And then we move even one step further, and this is now also the Trello level. We set 3 MITs, which we do every day in the morning. So what is an MIT? I think this is the core takeaway of this book. It's the most important task. This is really what you need to get done. Some people call it eating the frog. It's really what you should do in the early morning. Otherwise you push it away, you put it off, you delay, and sometimes it might be just too late. You can set N additional tasks, but you don't do them in the morning unless you really have time. Therefore, you do them in the afternoon or in the evening, and you can maintain a batch task list for everything that crosses your mind while executing to MITs. But the important thing here is you always move back to your MITs until they are completed. So if you get a message on WeChat coming into your screen, either turn off WeChat once you focus on your MITs, or write this task on your batch list and immediately move back to your MITs. I explain later why this is important. So I would like to give you an example of how such a structure could look like. So I have here goals, I have here projects, MITs, and additional tasks, and a batch task list. Let's start with the batch task list because it's somehow also funny. So I need to do a couple of things today, which this popped into my life. I need to get bed sheets for the kids. I need to buy flowers for my sister-in-law. She has birthday tomorrow. I need to send an article to a friend. I need to publish a few articles, and I need to buy oatmeal. Okay, but these are not my MITs and definitely not my goals. So let's start with the goals. The goals for me, Green Steps should be an impactful multinational non-profit in 2023. This is a 5-year goal because we started in 2018, and this is what I hope will be the outcome from our hard work. What are the sub-goals? So a sub-goal is that we can establish a European regional headquarter by fall 2020. I would like to have financial stability to pay staff a decent salary and scale impact. And I would like to establish an international team consisting of guides, promotion professionals, and engineers to empower people, connecting everybody to nature. So what are the projects, those 1 to 2 months projects? So for me, it's application of Erasmus Plus grant and a European Investment Bank loan. It is the certification module. We need to get all existing activities and project contribution tracked by the ARC, and we need to record all training material as screencasts if possible to facilitate online, and this is basically the start of doing so. But what are my MITs today? What do I need to do today to really move closer to this goal? So I started this morning with recording a screencast about using Trello efficiently. I will continue afterwards with correcting the business model canvas budget, and I calculate the revenue streams for an investor pitch. So how does this look like on Trello? When I go on Trello, then what I see on Trello is usually in my home screen a number of boards. You see I have here a couple of boards. You should at least see the Green Steps team board, and probably you also see the WeChat weekly bundle. If I click here on the Green Steps team board, then you should have the same view. And what you see on the right side are our Q2 second quarter objectives. I'm just picking a couple of those objectives. So we have the English training documents reviewed and improved. The Chinese training documents are translated and finalized. We have all screencasts recorded. The nature guidebook is edited and published. The Flying Friends game is published. The spring program is completed. We have a summer camp in Moganshan or a different location planned and people signed up. Our tech team is established, the marketing team consolidated, the nature guide team consolidated, and we have applied for grants and loans. So then the next list here is the weekly template where you find your names. And this weekly template is usually copied, copy list, it's copied, and then we just edit the date on top to see for which week this list is relevant. And here you see this is the list from last week. It was only Joan, Knut and Lucas really working with Trello. This is the current week. We have Gudi, Knut and Lucas working with Trello. And what you see is that these people, they have a lot of tasks. A lot of tasks are piling up. And if I go here into my list, it's actually, most of it is completed, but it is a little bit like a waste dump. I don't know what is my most important task. And this is what I would like to explain you today. The Green Steps team board is really nothing more than getting a list of things that need to be done within the next few days, a week, or maybe even 2 weeks. And it is important, I think, if we are decentralized, we work remotely or even in different locations, that we, apart from having personal meetings, are also able to assign tasks to each other. But when we have to do them, this is something that we need to also decide ourselves. Is it in the morning? Is it in the afternoon? Is it this day or the next day? And for this, I recommend that all of us use the My To Do board. And on the My To Do board, you see here that it is completely structured like Leo Babauta suggested. I have here my 5-year goal. I have 3 sub-goals. I have the projects that I'm currently working on, which last no longer than 2 months. I have my MITs. This is what I need to do today in the morning, and I need to fully focus on this, otherwise it doesn't get done. And I have additional tasks, usually in the evening. So today I need to have 3 phone calls, 1 person joining our advisory board, and I will talk with Pauline also about the production of our first game. And then I have a call with Pascal and Benedict about the EU grant application. And then on the right, I have my batch tasks. So the batch tasks, I told you before, are really what you need to get done to survive in daily life and not to make, in my case, my wife too angry. Yes, but summarizing, this My To Do board should be actually always open on your desktop, and so you can move forth and back. And if somebody is just popping in and telling you please do this or that, you can add this as a batch task, but you move back to your MITs and you complete your MITs. Okay, maybe one thing that I should add here, this My To Do board of course does not need to include only Green Steps tasks. So if you have currently, for example, because you are a freelancer, 3 projects, what you can do is, of course, to say, I have 1 project for Green Steps, 1 for a second client, and the third one for a third client. So you can really structure also as a freelancer your tasks in a very, very organized way. Good. So I would like to go back now again to the Green Steps team and emphasize why this is so important. Um, we have as one objective for Q2, for example, the Nature Guidebook. The Nature Guidebook contains really a lot of information and a lot of ID cards, and we need to distribute this work. And we also need to set clear goals. So last week, I brought Lucy, Nangua, and Fang Fang into our team. They are working remotely in Tempo, and they will contribute to the Nature Guidebook. Here on the Green Steps team list, I assigned to Lucy on her checklist a clear goal. Every week, she has to translate from English to Chinese 10 ID cards. She works with us for 20 hours, and we say that one ID card translating lasts about 2 hours. So 10 ID cards is her weekly goal. Now, if Lucy puts this task on her My To Do board, on her personal Trello board, then she should actually write down that in the morning she does ID card 1, which one is this? ID card 2, which one is this? And ID card 3, which one is this? So it's really about breaking down a rather general task into a very clear, very detailed task that can be executed, maybe not always easily, but within a clear amount of time. Okay, so same here for Nangua. Nangua is helping us with every week doing 5 ID cards, translates them to Chinese, and she's also helping us with activity guide training to be reviewed. Okay. And then we have Fang Fang. So Fang Fang is working us with ID cards being reviewed. And she will review only, she will not translate, and this means she can do 15 ID cards a week. But again, she needs to put into her own Trello board which 15 ID cards are those. Okay. All right. So I hope that it is clear for you all how to work with Trello in a more efficient way. I really hope that this greatly improves our productivity and makes it possible that we also complete complicated projects like the Nature Guidebook. So I would like to go back now to this presentation. There are a few more slides which all are connected with Trello and getting shit done. Task management number 2, stop multitasking. So I've collected here basically the most important takeaway from neuroscientists talking about multitasking. Some people think we can have a phone call and take care of our children and do this and that all at the same time. It doesn't work. Believe me, it doesn't work. It has been proven over and over and over that multitasking makes us less efficient. Multitasking increases the production of the stress hormone cortisol and the fight or flight hormone adrenaline, which can overstimulate your brain and cause mental fog or scrambled thinking. So if you multitask for several hours, don't be surprised if you're exhausted in the afternoon and don't get anything done anymore. Multitasking creates a dopamine addiction feedback loop, effectively rewarding our brain for losing focus and for constantly searching for external stimulation. Don't multitask. We have a lot of cognitive losses from multitasking, and this loss is larger or greater than when you smoke pot. It takes about 10 to 25 minutes to refocus. So if you have a complicated, difficult task to complete, You need to stay focused. If something is distracting your attention, it takes really a long time to focus again. Multitasking also wastes glucose, so it is also, let's say, on a very personal level, not very ecological, because we waste fuel and we reduce our cognitive and physical performance. Yeah, and there is even a physical impact. This is what my friend Luis, who also joins our advisory board, told me. He's a very experienced uh, physiotherapist, and he said if you multitask, for example, some people use the mobile phone when losing the bowels, sitting on the toilet, it can even cause you it even can cause a slipped disc. So some people, they use the phone when they walk stairs and they fall over. So there is definitely a lot of physical impact as well. All right, summary: don't multitask. Task management 3 are the 4Ds. So the 4Ds are drop, delegate, defer, do. Why is this important? Because not everything that comes down our alley is really what we need to do. So delete emails that are not important, or don't open them. Many things can be delegated, and there's a rule of thumb: if things can be done at least 2/3 as well by somebody else who has free capacities, then talk to that person about delegation. Delegation is not about delegating something down, it's about horizontal delegation. It's really about teamwork. If we have a more important priority to take care of, if we don't have the possibility to delegate, we can always consider to start training somebody in our team. Some things can done later, and in a fast changing environment, it is true that if you wait, sometimes you can also wait it out. So things that are not urgent, defer, delay. And the last thing is, of course, do. Make a priority, and those are the MITs. Make your MITs and then really get them done. This is the way to go forward. And we have a task management 4. It's the 6S. After 4Ds, we have 6S. The 6S are especially important when we work with Airtable, and I will talk about this again in Airtable. But this is an outlook of how we work with 6S. We sort things. We are then better able to distinguish between what is needed and not needed, and can remove what is not needed. We stabilize things, so we have a clear place for things, either in C file or anywhere else. We shine, so we clean up our folders. We put documents which are not needed, for example, into an archive folder. We standardize, so we go over this kind of workflow over and over again and make the structure even better. So we sustain this standardization. And in the last step, the 6S is about safety. We eliminate hazards. So this is maybe not so much important for office work, but it is definitely important for our activities outdoors, where we need to do a risk assessment and just make the environment safe for our children to participate. So this was the updated training on Trello with quite a few add-ons. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have questions, reach out.